I want to talk today about two issues that are very important, no matter what you happen to be writing: audience and purpose. The first consideration is your audience. Whom are you addressing? This is something you always have to consider whenever you start to write anything, especially if you're writing a thesis essay. Is your audience predominantly male or female, or does it not matter? What do you think the age of your audience is? Are they older, younger than you? Do they have a different cultural background from you? Do they share cultural assumptions that you share? What religion are they? Does that matter? What's their level of education? And most important, what is their level of knowledge on the topic that you're addressing? All of these things, you kind of have to imagine a profile of who you're talking to. And then imagine an ideal audience to address your paper to. This will definitely affect the shape and the tone of your argument, both the language you use and the arguments that you use. Here's a little example. When I wrote this up on the board, whom are you addressing? I had to choose. Do I write whom are you addressing, which is very formal, or who are you addressing, which is what I would more naturally say. I chose whom because I am addressing you, an English class, as an instructor of an English course, and it's more formal and more correct. The second consideration is purpose. Why are you writing in the first place? Are you completing an assignment? Are you writing a cover letter to try to get a job? Are you writing an email to a colleague to try to solve a problem together? That's the task of writing. That's why you're writing. But what are you trying to accomplish? The goal behind that writing task is really what your purpose is. Maybe you're trying to inform someone of something. Maybe you're just trying to entertain us. Maybe you're trying to solve a problem or suggest a solution. Or, as is the case in this class and in most academic settings, you're trying to convince us of something. You're trying to use persuasive arguments to build a case. That's what all the papers in this class will be focused on. That will be your purpose. Together with your audience, these two things come together and they really sort of define what your paper is. It's kind of like if you were cooking a meal. And depending on what time of day it is, what you're hungry for, that will determine what dish you're going to make, which in turn defines what ingredients you're going to use. These ingredients in turn tell you what sort of equipment you're going to need in order to cook the dish. Considering your audience and your purpose is just like that. Another metaphor you might use is that when you dress up to go somewhere, you dress up with a purpose. If you're just going out to meet some friends, you're probably going to be a little bit more casual. You know, if you were off to work, you might wear something more formal, but with a little bit of personality. My tie has all of the spaceships from all of the Star Trek shows. If you were going to a more formal event, you would wear something more formal. So if you're just at home playing Xbox, you're probably going to be a whole lot more relaxed. Yeah. And you wouldn't want to cook in just your underwear, because that's just plain dangerous. And the game's not called Just Dance 3-Piece Soup. And obviously you wouldn't wear a bathrobe to work. Unless you're me, because I work at home. So in the end, audience and purpose are really just two sides of the same coin. If you can figure out who your audience is and what your goal is, what your purpose is, then you can figure out what you need to do to get there. And if you've got that in mind, then you can figure out how to present your thesis, what sort of language you want to use, how formal you want to be, and answer all these sorts of technical questions about how you're going to write your paper. And if you can figure that out, you're halfway there. I don't know the dance one. Are you actually filming me?